Welcome to Friday Morning Dharma on July 17th. Let's settle in for some meditation. Please turn yourself over completely to your meditation practice this morning. Settle into a place of quiet stillness and spacious clarity. As a preliminary to our meditation, please feel free to mount the three-word mantra on your breath. Rest, relax, allow. And when you're ready, please go ahead and gently transition into meditation on the inner body. All that is asked of you is to silently observe. This morning's Lam Rim meditation, this morning's meditation on the stages of the path, is on equalizing self and others. And to practice this meditation, I'd like you to please bring to mind someone in your life with whom you may have a strained relationship from time to time. This is not someone for whom you have abject hatred or are estranged. It's somebody who has the potential to get on your nerves, perhaps to push your buttons. Please take a moment to bring this person to mind. And I'd like you now to imagine that this person is seated in the space in front of you, facing you, with their eyes at the level of your eyes. And we can contemplate as follows. This person's happiness, the happiness of the person seated in the space in front of me, is of equal importance to my own happiness. This is the basis for equalizing self and others. So for the next few moments, I'd like you to please just rest with this recognition. This person's happiness is equal in importance to my own happiness. Rest with this recognition while continuing to meditate on sensations within your inner body. The wisdom recognition that the happiness of the person seated in the space in front of you is equal in importance to your own happiness is a meaningful, wise recognition. We can go further with it, however. We can wish for this person's happiness as much as we wish for our own. This is the true meaning of equalizing self with others. So I'd like you to please rest with this wish, the wish for this other person's happiness, the happiness of the person seated in the space in front of you. Wish for their happiness as much as you do your own, while continuing to meditate on sensations within the inner body. Now, please redirect your awareness once again. Become aware again of your physical body and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of your physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, becoming aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. And we dedicate all of the merit, all of the positive energy from this morning's meditation to the happiness of the people who were our objects of meditation this morning. May they be happy. May they enjoy inner and outer peace. May they enjoy inner and outer freedom. Completely fill up, completely fill up your belly and lungs with air. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. You, so we are in the heart of what are called the Lojong teachings, Lojong being a Tibetan word which means training the mind. And that's one of the things that's so great about the Lam Rim meditations. There are 21 sequential meditations, yet there is a path within the path. Yeah, the Lojong meditations. It's a um, recognizing the kindness of others, equalizing self and others, recognizing the faults of self-cherishing slash self-centeredness. And then there is another one that's kind of considered to be a couple more that are actually considered to be part of the Lojong body. Going to talk a little bit more about the disadvantages of self-centeredness, trying to personalize this. And um, again, in the sutras, it's presented as the disadvantages of self-cherishing. And I talked in Monday's class about my resistance to using the term self-charity. If you are good with that term, then incorporate it. Like it's a term that's been used for thousands of years. So, um, yeah, anyways, I talked on Monday about why for us Westerners, it may be more accessible for us to look at it as the disadvantages of self-centeredness. And I want us to kind of step back for a minute and just take an honest, fearless inventory of our situation right now. Yeah. As you know, the basis for all of our difficulties, all of our suffering, like the root source is our grasping at and clinging to this illusory self, right? We create this self and regard it as being inherently existing, like it's really real, yeah, when in fact it's an illusion, yeah, like everything else. We grasp at and cling to this inherently existing sense of self. And we think of it as being independent too, independent and inherently existing. It's an illusion, yet we take this illusion and make it the center of our existence, right? It's what governs everything we do, everything we think, all of our actions, our words, our wishes, our hopes. It's like desperate. It's a desperate situation, yeah, to take this illusion and make it the center of our experience, of our reality. And again, not saying that there's nothing there. We're not saying that this I, this me, this sense of self, we're not saying there's nothing there. We're just saying it doesn't exist inherently. It doesn't exist separate from our mind. It's fabrication of mind, like everything else that we cling to and grasp at. So I came up with my own little list of disadvantages, the disadvantages of self-centeredness, of regarding ourselves as being the center of the universe, right? There, in the New Meditation Handbook, there's a great description. Same with Joyful Path of Good Fortune. But, you know, I've said many times, and I hold by this, it's like personalizing the Dharma that will really move our mind and move our heart. Yeah. Bring about existential change in our heart. So here's little, my little Jeff's list of the disadvantages of self-check. And it's a partial list, by the way. Um, if we put ourselves at the center of everything, like self-centeredness, when we put ourselves at the center, it makes us moody, right? It makes us moody. If we like our if our self is at the center of everything, bad things happen to us. We experience mental pain and we get upset and unhappy and discouraged, maybe even depressed. Good things happen, then we're happy, right? And joyful and yay. And then, like things that don't really affect us at all, we're sort of like, I don't know, indifferent, maybe even ambivalent about it. Like our mood is blown around by things that occur in the external world. Yeah, just like ups and downs. I mean, the only thing worse than being called self-centered is being called moody, right? At least. Anyways, we got to try to have some fun with this. What about stress? Yeah. I mean, stress, epidemic. It's an epidemic in our world. Yeah. How much of your daily life, how much of your daily stress comes from holding yourself at the center of everything? Yeah. If we weren't concerned about how everything that happens in this vast, super complicated, multifaceted world, if we were able to extricate ourselves from thinking it's all about me, I'm at the center of it all, how much stress would we alleviate? Yeah, I think a lot. Mhm. This is a big one. I'm kind of being playful with the other two, serious and playful, right? You gotta kind of have some levity when somebody's calling us self-centered, it helps to have some levity. But this is a really big one, and we'll get into the next to it in the next lamb rim, the advantages of cherishing others, right? If we are completely absorbed with ourselves and our situation and our drama because we're at the center of everything, there's like no room in our mind to authentically care about others or even be interested in others. Yeah, this is really big. This is really, really important because empathy, empathy is a really big thing. It's what enables connection, right? There are a lot of spiritual teachers who say that connection is the most important thing. They say lack of connection with others is what ails us. Brene Brown is one, if you're familiar with Brene Brown. Yeah. And others, Buddha, if it's all about us and our experience being at the center of everything, how much room is there for us to really authentically care about what's happening with others? Friends, people who push our buttons, strangers, acquaintances. I don't think there's much room for it. And ultimately, I think that's what spiritual path is about, isn't it? Is heart connecting with others, caring about others, loving others, i.e., wishing for them to be happy. Hmm. How about this one? Self-centeredness is even worse than dualistic view, worse, even more harmful than dualistic view. Like dualistic view, to refresh everyone's memory, dualistic view, like the opposite of interconnected. So, self and other, right? I am separate and distinct from you. That means my happiness is separate and distinct from yours, right? We've kind of got this confused notion that there's a finite amount of happiness to be had. So your happiness comes at the expense of my happiness. That makes you my enemy, right? Because you're taking my happiness. Yeah. This is dualistic view. This is kind of how the path goes. How can it be worse than that? With self-centeredness, there's not even another. Yeah. It's just all about me. Yeah. It's all about me and mine. Well, that's another one I didn't even have on the list. Me and mine. It's really a trippy phenomenon, this me and mine thing, because mine actually becomes an extension of myself. It's sort of how the self grows and expand, the incredible expanding Jeff, right? Like it expands through mine, right? This is my thing. There's a story. I might have shared this let me see how we're doing. Okay, just a little bit of time left. Years ago, I just got this is years ago. I was living in DC. I just got my bicycle back and it was painted. It was it was brand new painted. Hadn't even ridden it once since I got the bike back. The frame was painted, right? Beautiful, spotless, impeccable. My girlfriend at the time leans it up against she needed to move it for some reason, puts it up of the corner of a wall in our apartment, but she didn't have it stable, so the bike rolls down and scratches the top tube of the bike. Hadn't even ridden it one time. Excruciating pain Jeff experienced. Excruciating pain. Why? Because the bicycle had become an extension of me. It was a part of me. The bike gets scratched and Jeff experiences pain. How weird, how bizarre is that? Yeah. Think about that. Yeah. This self-centeredness is expansive to take in mine. And then when things happen to mine, I experience pain because somehow I've projected self onto inanimate object or other people in our relationships, other beings in our relationships. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Let me see if I've got one. And the other one, the big one, this is not the big one, but another big one is it causes us to engage in harmful actions of body, speech, and mind. Yeah. When it's all about us, when we're at the center of creation and our happiness is the only thing that matters. So we say and do and think harmful things that cause suffering to those around us. Yeah. So there it is. We'll move on. I invite you to study this and think about it, meditate on it. The disadvantages of self-cherishing. There are a lot. They are substantial. Fortunately, the good news is kind of come full circle. The sense of self is illusory. So we've gotten confused about what it really is and what role it has in our life. We can awaken to that and have a more balanced, realistic, wisdom-based perspective on this sense of self and kind of move ourselves out of the center of the universe. What a relief that is. Yeah. And um, move on to the advantages of cherishing others. Yeah, the advantages of cherishing others. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. Yep, you're most welcome.
Thank you.